Oh my gosh, you must be thinking to yourself, I can't afford to buy, interest rates are way too high. Well, today we're going to talk about how it still could be possible to buy in today's market even with higher interest rates. So the first thing that you really need to determine when deciding to make a purchase and actually decide and buy a home is really if it's the right decision for you. Regardless of the interest rate, regardless of what's going on, is this really going to be the right thing for you? People are still out there renting, paying really high rents when buying is really a smarter choice. And sometimes, for the most part, when you actually purchase a home, you're going to be paying less than renting. So you really need to think about, is this going to be the right move for me first and foremost? So you've decided, okay, probably a good idea to buy. So what do I do next? So the next thing you're going to do is get in contact with a lender or a mortgage broker that you trust. A great resource for that is to actually speak to your realtor, get a contact, and actually speak to someone about it. They're going to check numbers for you, they're going to check your credit, they're going to check your debt to income, they're going to check your actual income to determine if it's really a good decision for you to buy and to give you the numbers and actually have something concrete to look at. So once you speak to the mortgage broker, you will actually have a good idea of what your payment will look like. So regardless of what interest rates are, it's important to look at that monthly payment. Can you afford that monthly payment? Are you comfortable with it? Is it something that you can truly manage? That is really what you should be focusing on instead of interest rate. Because at the end of the day, interest rates are not static. They're constantly moving. So if you make a purchase today at 7%, you might be able to refinance in a year to a year and a half at maybe 5%, as an example. So you're not really necessarily married to the rate. That's something that can always be refinanced in the future, and that's something really important to consider is really looking at that monthly payment. So there are actually some great programs out there to actually manage the interest rate. So I work with several lenders that actually offer what's called a 2-1 buy down. So what's a 2-1 buy down? A 2-1 buy down actually is a seller concession. So the seller pays for part of the closing costs and it actually buys down your interest. As an example, let's say today the interest rate is 7%. If you do a 2-1 buy down, your interest rate will be 5% for the first year, 6% for the second year, and 7% into year 3. So again, that gives you enough time to be able to have a manageable payment, have the seller pay for it, and actually give you an opportunity to refinance in the future. It's kind of a win-win situation when you really look at it. Did you know there's actually some specialized banks out there that offer lower interest rates than the conventional loans that are out there? It is a fact. There are some banks out there that offer great interest rates. I do have some options, but I'm not talking about Chase, I'm not talking about Bank of America, and I'm not talking about Wells Fargo. I'm talking about special banks that want your business, they want your money, and they are gonna give you a great interest rate on different loan products. So definitely some options out there to manage the rate even further. There's so many options to consider when purchasing a home, and I've just laid out a couple of different ones. You can definitely save money on these different programs. Great way to kind of work around things. And in addition to that, the market is much more flexible. There's much more flexibility in the list price. I've been able to negotiate down from the list price for many of my clients, so that can happen for you as well. My name is Hector Valdes, and I'm a realtor here in South Florida. If you ever have any questions about buying or selling a home, feel free to contact me.